The Tuatha are on the run. Good work. Plus, it's much more pleasant here without Gadflow bellowing at me from all corners. But enough pleasantry. Are you prepared for your reunion with Ventrinio? The notes we got from Octien say that you were employed as Ventrinio's assistant in his secret laboratory. You were with him in Alabastra when you died, but the notes weren't clear on what happened. I'm sure the two of you have so much catching up to do. Very forthright of you. I'm sure he'll be very reasonable. He probably won't even ask why you're back from the dead. Just make sure he lives long enough to get us into Alabastra, and you can count on my help. Danistar is almost perfectly defended. Ventrinio could keep an army off of its shores. Good thing we found another way there. He's a worm, but a useful one. Octien took quite a risk setting him up in Cluracan. Must have made a lot of deals to keep him safely hidden away. Secret Fey paths through elemental darkness? Magic like that should be closely guarded. Imagine how powerful it could be. Of course, this is bound to be informative. I'm just disappointed I never had a chance to see the original Well of Souls. I believe our new friend has a disturbing path of living shadow to offer you. By all means, be my guest.
Good luck with the gnome, especially if you plan on killing him. Right this way, and we can walk the shadow to Danistar Island. Stand in the pool of shadow, close your eyes, and touch the tree. I'll take care of the rest. And don't open your eyes while you're moving through the shadows, no matter what you hear. The shadow awaits. Make it quick. This island is a perversion.
I hope you're ready for this. I believe our new friend has a disturbing path of living shadow to offer you. By all means, be my guest. This island smells like death. Stay behind me. Whatever that gnome's been up to, he looks like he's made a few enemies in the process. Pathetic. No more delays. This is no social visit. Keep your wits sharp. Just as Hughes thought, Ventrinio used the same wards from their old lab. This'll be quick. Follow me and be careful. The lads are coming from somewhere in here.
The energy from the Well of Souls is overwhelming. Damn it! What's wrong? And why are there so many lands?
One step closer. Sounds like our rat is caught in a trap. I'm sure he'd be happy to help whoever saves him. Careful, or we'll get trapped up there too. Here's where we part ways. I'll stop the lads at the stairwell. You get upstairs and retrieve Ventrinio. Shouldn't be hard to find him. Keep moving up and follow the cowardly shrieking. I'll hold this staircase. Move!
A new source of power? What sort of nonsense is this? If anything had come in here, my detection spells would have... Wait. Who's down there? Show yourself! Damn it all! I don't care who you are. Get up here! Must be the key. All those soldiers. When you get up there, try not to look dreamy. The whole well starts to collapse. Took your time, didn't gods damn it! Ever since the Balor was defeated, the chaos magic sent the well off its alignment. You show up, and now the Laz are... Wait, what? It's you. You're alive. But I saw you die. I'm Ventrinian, of course. Don't you remember me? You were my assistant here at the Well of Souls. You were going to help me change the world. But of course, that was before you died. It was terrible. You were the best assistant I ever had. Who else could have helped me get into Alabastra? Who else had that ambition? We got more than enough Prismere, but you wanted to track down the power source, even if it meant sneaking right under Gadflur's nose. I spent days trying to recover your body, but I never expected to find you alive, or for you to return. Speaking of which, how did you return anyway? Of course you did. You went there to steal Prismere to power the well. You wanted to go after the source of the Prismere itself. You went off, geared for war, sneaking into Baal itself. You damned fool! I had a better chance of bringing you back from the dead than I had of changing your mind. I wasn't able to do either. What? That's impossible. You were attuned at this well. You've never even set foot in his lab. Hughes is a joke. He doesn't have the stomach for this work. Don't try waking the dead if you're not ready to make a few corpses, I say. But the well is coming down around us. Quick! I've got to slow the energy and shut this thing down. And don't... Oh, damn it all. Here they come. Hold them off. The lads are here. Hold them off while I try to stop the flow of energy to the well. Ignore the rumbling. Focus on the lads.
Talk with this old fool before I lose my temper. You keep surprising me. He's lost his home, his safety, and his life's work. Something tells me he'll be amenable to working with us. Get what we need and let's go! You keep surprising me. Get what we need and let's go!
Salvage? All my work gone. Damn it all! But at least we're still alive. Once again, I triumph over death itself. I won't be talked to like that by an assistant. Why, I ought to... I mean, I ought to watch what I say and offer any assistance required by the large, heavily armed people who outnumber me. So we're going to Alabastra then. Speaking of not killing me, I want you to have this talisman. It's something I salvaged from my well, and it might just help you in Alabastra. We got in with a little help, of course. See, it's all because of Callous Dren, the defender of pride. In his house, no one can stand before him. None can even approach, unless you have my little secret. Patience, patience. You'll have it soon enough. I'm going to have to dig it out of the rubble of the tower. Go to the field of Huber, and I'll meet you there. And if you value your life, do not approach Dren. I know the type. Lucky youth, peaked early, then crawled into a bottle and waited to die. I'm impressed you dragged him away from that bottle, but I wouldn't expect him to do any heavy thinking. You mean your deadly little shadow? I know her type. All smiles now, but it's just so she can get close enough to stick her knives in you. After an unfortunate incident with the Templars, Octian decided to move my work someplace a little further from the public eye. We both felt that an island in another land behind the front lines of a war might just be far enough from prying eyes. Dren, defender of pride, one of twin defenders, quite powerful in their homes. But did you know they were also entirely immune to each other's powers? And it seems the defender of valor quite disappeared when her house fell. Imagine how useful she would have been if she were here today. Simple bone soldiers, easy enough for any decent mage to build and animate. They're not really alive any more than a puppet is. Gadflow's got an empire built on Prisma. Think of all the power he's sitting on. And he's wasting it on swords and bows. Arrogant fools, all of them. At least we could sneak past them when they were overconfident. Now that the army's at their gate, they'll be watching for us. He wasn't fit to hold my crucible, much less carry on my work. He could barely even stand to cut open a warm corpse for study. I can't imagine the reason you came back in his well instead of mine. Probably some freak attunement transfer. Partial successes at best. They remember how to fight, but that's about all they're good for. Named them after an old nursery rhyme. Damn things are always moaning all the time. I thought it might shut them up to give them a name. A horrible, messy, ugly place. Too dark to keep bodies preserved and too hot to keep them from stinking. Oh, to be back in a cave and a tear. You don't remember it? Well, why dredge up the past? After all, you're fine now, aren't you? You're not the type to hold a grudge, right? Okay. We were in Alabastra getting Prisma. I never thought it'd be dangerous. At least not very. Oh, don't give me that look. Accidents happen. You can't make an omelette without leaving a few corpses. I didn't know anything about you before you worked for me. Octian hired you and told me you were a resourceful assistant. That's all I know. You didn't like talking about yourself. Actually, you didn't like much of anything. Honestly, you were a terror to be around. But you've changed. I can tell. Before you died, you would never have been this diplomatic. You probably would have knifed me for answers by now. Oh, speaking of which, you left this in your room before you died. Take it. Octian, the man lacked vision. Can you believe all he wanted was his own personal immortality machine? Such a narrow-minded goal for a Templar. Still, he wasn't squeamish about what had to be done in order to develop the well. I suppose he paid well, too, if you'd consider that any reason to pursue the sciences. We needed tremendous quantities of prismia to fuel the well, but it's almost unheard of outside of Alabastra, so we had to sneak in to gather our own. My name is Ventrinio Dessalini, and I am Professor Emeritus Abscondus of Post-Mortem Studies at the Odessa University. Of course, that was all before I began work on the Well of Souls. Such an important undertaking doesn't leave much time for other pursuits, you know. The Well of Souls is a noble project. Yes, sacrifices have been made. Laws have been broken. People have died. And they will continue to die. Don't you see? That's exactly what I'm trying to prevent. How many have died in this war? Thousands. The bodies are shoulder deep in the battlefields, but for trying to cure it, they call me a monster? We were in Alabastra, and I never thought it'd be dangerous. At least, not very. Oh, don't give me that look. Accidents happen. You can't make an omelette without leaving a few corpses. Fine. We were collecting prismere and alabastra. We needed it to power the well, of course, and you got a wild idea to track down the source of the power. I tried to stop you. I really did. But you decided to sneak into Amethyst, and I wasn't about to get killed along with you. I spent days trying to get your corpse back, but to no avail. Much as I hate to admit it, I should thank Hughes for succeeding where I failed. Just go to the Field of Huber and wait for me. I'll meet you down there once I can find this damned essence. Get going, and remember, don't go near Dren until I get there.
I'm sure we can trust Ventrinio, but I'll keep an eye on him. I'll stay here and keep an eye on Ventrinio. We'll meet you at the Field of Huber, to the south. You got into Alabastra once. You can do it again.
You took quite a tumble from the tower. The beacon of corruption is finally wiped from this island. Well done.
So, it's off to face Dren, is it? Isn't that why you found that gnome? I certainly don't intend to bury Dren in bodies. What does one do in the face of certain death?
The hero of Mel Senshir, looking to restock. Ilan Dodran has what you need. back again.
Well, you bent me over the anvil right proper. Give them hell.
You truly are the champion of the war. Maybe one day I'll forge a blade worthy of your hand. Happy hunting.
Lyria smiling upon us now.
You are good with a weapon. I'll give you that. Perhaps we could have a private sparring session later. Go with Lyria.
I thought the siege would never end.
There's got to be a way through here. Any luck finding Ventrinio and his big secret? And it looks like they're not far behind you. If you were anyone else, I'd try to stop you. As it is, I'll just wish you good luck. This can't end here.
Sometimes one soldier can do what an entire army cannot.
You haven't tried going in there, have you? No, of course you haven't. You're still alive. This took a little longer to find than I had hoped, but it should be exactly what you need. Dren had a twin in the Summer Court, Dith the Defender of Valor. They were both entirely immune to each other's power. She faded when the House of Valor fell, but my early experiments with the Well of Souls provided a quite useful little surprise. You see, when trying to draw life energy from the ether, I captured her essence and bound it into this charm. With this, you will be immune to Dren's power. It's not as powerful as it used to be, and it's specific to Dren, but it'll let you face him and live. Now, be fair. Fae don't have souls as mortals do. They are a form of magic with a physical form. And I only got a little of it anyway. Just enough for a certain degree of immunity to Dren's power. It only works for one person, but it'll be enough for you to reach him. Trouble is, he'll be immune to your power as well. But I'm sure you can think of something. I had no idea what a treasure I had when I first caught Dith's essence. It was just a curiosity sitting on a shelf for the longest time. What a pleasant surprise that she could be of use to someone after all this time, eh? You've got his counterpart's essence, so he shouldn't be able to hurt you. What more do you want? So what if he's still invulnerable too? Go find a way around it. I can't do all of your thinking for you. With the essence of valor, you can withstand Dren's attacks. Stop being such a child and go face him. Now, go show that defender.
Whatever you're planning, now is the time. Now I'm sure you have this well in hand. Good luck. The House of Pride is a gateway to Alabastra. Until we can find a way through it, Gadflow can send his soldiers through. Ventrinio says he has a way to defeat Dren. However he got into Alabastra before, we'll have to use it to put an end to Dren's defenses once and for all. You got into Alabastra once. You can do it again.
I don't know what you're planning, but good luck.
Turn back or die. Then you shall die like the others before you. I made an oath to protect my house and my homeland. No power short of death can keep me from fulfilling my duties. I know your intentions are to free my people from the Tuatha. You seem an honorable sort. You even bear the blessing of my sister. But I have sworn an oath to defend my house and homeland. I cannot let you in without a fight, and you cannot win against me. If only things could be different. If only the Tuatha were gone and my sister was back. Enough. We could fight each other until the mountains wear away, but that will aid nothing. My sister and I were chosen to protect our kind. So long as our houses stood, the Fae would never pass from this world. I in pride, and she in valor. We never imagined that our houses could crumble beneath our feet. Mortals led to the collapse of my sister's house, but with Gadflow's help, they shall not have mine. He may taint pride with his Prismere and his obscene god, but it will keep us eternal. Before I knew the truth of Tuatha, I swore to keep my homeland safe from invaders. I could never have known what my people would become. Fae never change, and pride's honor never yields. I cannot yield. But if your true intent is to stop Gadflow, then perhaps there is a way my house and my honor could remain pure. If you would promise to spare the House of Pride, then we could put aside our powers and have an honest battle. Win, and your army may pass. I expected treachery from any friend of Sidon the Outcast, and I shall have no lies within my house.
not alone. Like the weave unraveling, the Tuatha now tainted the purity of Mathon's court. These new immortals, the Tuatha...
You did it! You actually beat him! Guess I owe Ventrinio a drink. A promise is a promise, and the Witch Knights of Pride would be powerful allies to have on our side. I'll send a few soldiers along to help. Meanwhile, I'll get the other troops ready to move into Alabastra once that gate opens. The House of Pride practically drips with curses and enchantments, but the most powerful one is Dren himself. Dren's one of the Sentinels, isn't he? I've heard they were a pair of twins, unkillable on their homelands, protecting their people from attack. I've heard stories about Dith, the other Sentinel, from the days when the House of Valor still stood. I heard about her, but she was before my time. All I know is she was some great hero of the House of Valor. I once toasted with her comrades at a statue to her, but even the statue crumbled long ago. The gate to Alabastra's still closed, and we can't open it without the House of Pride's help. Clean out the Tuatha inside, and we can move on. Get that gate open, and the army will be ready to go.
With you here, we can't lose. How can there be so many?
Halt! Parley in... If you would be so kind as to have a word with us. I have been chosen by the remaining members of our house to speak for all. We were most honored by your intention to free us. We are in seclusion, so it's best to observe this situation without any unnecessary interference or risk to ourselves. I assure you, we will be more than happy to assist you in Alabastra. Loath as we are to get our hands dirty in this scuffle, perhaps we can offer a more indirect assistance. Simply carry forth and destroy Witch Knight Myrna, and her dreadful Prismere Chantry, of course. Prince Sidon is a Fae of noble tradition. He would never raise a hand against the High King, just as he would never bow before the Tuatha. We've been gifted with so much. It's only proper that we are also immortal, so as to put our gifts to the most use. Conversely, poor children of dust have so little, but are given barely a moment to live. How kind the world is. How Gadflow came to command such respect is beyond even our wisest. He was little more than a jester at the Winter Court. But he said he found the voice of Tirnoch, and she led him to power. And it seems he was correct. As the Fae are above mortals, the House of Pride reigns above their fellow Fae, sharing our wisdom, our grace, and our humility. Vengeance is such a sloppy, boorish house. Marvelous fighters, of course, but simply crude. They all feel that the world has wronged them somehow. And perhaps it did. How else would they end up in such a hateful house? Myself? Why, this one is merely the lowest ranked of our house, and yet we have been chosen as the speaker for the Fae of Pride. To us falls the honor of acting as liaison to your mortal army. Your charming, well-bred, and simply lovely army. The Tuatha bred in our lands before we realized what change they truly represented. Certainly we all share a distaste for mortals, but few of us ever hunted them. We eagerly anticipate your success.
Well done, child of dust. You've killed the immortal defender and liberated a house full of arrogant backstabbers. I should thank you for exposing the disloyal amongst my kin. But then, I have so much to thank you for. Your bravado is nothing more than the mewling of an angry kitten. Each Tuatha you kill makes the rest of us stronger. Each one feeds Tirnoch. The goddess of mercy awakens. And with every step you take into my homeland, she comes that much closer to walking our world and purging your kind. So welcome to Alabastra. It shall be the death of you once more.